For this painting that I did today, I wanted to challenge myself to use one central aspect and kind of create a theme around that. So I wanted to start with kind of like an abstract looking grassy hill area. Then the idea for this painting was to have a large kind of haunted house looking thing. So I wanted to have more of that kind of scary aspect, kind of darker themes to it, but keep it still colorful with that abstract kind of doodle style pop. So I wanted to go in and just put in a few things. Wanted to put in some kind of fun looking planet thing, and I started to do the outline of the house, and I wanted to make it large enough that you could tell it's kind of one of the main parts of it. So I was just starting to mainly create the spaces that I want and have the sections of the paintings where I wanted them. To go along with the creepy house, I wanted to do some trees and make them kind of creepy looking. I wanted to add a good amount of detail and still give it that abstract style. I wanted to keep it with that kind of loose abstract theme, but have more obvious elements in this one. But then kind of go from there and fill it in with more of the abstract stuff when I see it. I didn't want a lot of open space in this one. I've been really working on having that where there's not just one area with one plain color. So I'm kind of adding these little details and parts kind of as a placeholder, adding some shapes. Or then with this one, I didn't originally plan it to be like this, but you'll see later on in the painting where I see there's a lot of places where I can add different faces to it. So I just did that and made it more abstract with that theme and added them everywhere. So you can see I'm kind of picking the areas where I want a few of the first ones there, and then I just add a lot more near the end. I wanted to be more thought out with my colors that I was using and where I was using them. I've had that in the past where they kind of clash, or I use too many, or I only use one once. So when I'm seeing an open space, I'm planning that out a little bit more and adding more details and textures within it. I like using this blended yellow and brown color. I find it looks really good near the green and other darker colors. And I like this one because you can easily blend and add more texture with other colors around it, so it's a nice base to use. I thought I would add that in the house as well as the trees and kind of work from there. I'm continuing to do more of that color layering on this one, and I wanted to do it in the direction around the shapes to give it more of that natural feel. Sometimes I do them randomly, but I like it when it's around the shape as a starting point. I wanted to fill in some areas with this purple that I blended. I really like the way it looks, and I think it goes well with the theme. I want to make sure I'm not using too much purple in it, because sometimes I find if there's too much, other things can get washed out. So I wanted to make sure I was adding some of that deep blue, and I thought it would go well with the brown color as well. I decided that the roof of the house I wanted to use kind of as a color blending area. I like doing that in my paintings where I have one section that kind of has all the colors in the painting together. So I just started doing that. Then every time I'm using a color, I'll go back and add some more patterns to it. Right now it's looking pretty plain, and I was looking at it and I was very unsure of how it would finish, but I really like how it did end up, so this is one you got to trust the process on. I was looking at it, and for a little bit I was thinking, do I just paint over it and do a more abstract one? But I thought it'd be good practice to do more of the layering that I wanted to do and see if I can do more faces and kind of make it look good together. So I'm just doing that and wanting to add more sections around the faces to show where they are, even if that means going over other aspects or other elements of the painting. I just kind of wanted to have more of that free form to it. I wanted to make sure that I didn't have a lot of plain white areas in the painting, and I wanted to pick colors that went well with the background. So I'm just filling in colors that I think look good in those spots and continuing to put faces where I see them. For this one, I see a tree that has that kind of eye looking naturally, so I'm just making a face around that. As I'm going in and making more faces where they kind of naturally have the shapes around them, I'm making sure that I'm going over and layering some other colors so there's no plain areas with just one straight color. And I'm liking how the texture is looking and the directions that the lines are going. And this is where I was seeing the painting really come together and kind of having that style that I wanted. now I'm going in and just adding the final details. I see a few more areas where I could do faces. By now I was committed to that theme of it where I would just have a bunch of hidden faces within it. So I was just going in and seeing them and using colors that went well with the base color to do those. So I just wanted to make sure there's a lot of texture and not a lot of open parts that didn't have any color. So just finishing in those final details now. So now I'm just finishing it up with the last few little elements, and I'm actually really happy with how this one turned out, especially at that halfway point. I wasn't too sure of it. So this is the final product, and I'm happy with the texture that those extra lines and colors brought.